If you missed the last lesson, I created some dreamy chords for you. And I got all these tabbed out in my membership section, so if you want to go check them out, they're in there. It's kind of like Bob Ross and Happy Little Trees, happy little chords. Sounds pretty. I got my chorus on. I'm using a, what is this called? This is, I got MXR pedals, MXR analog chorus, and I got an MXR carbon copy delay. I got some reverb on going through my Laney IRT60 amplifier right here, if you can see that. And the clean channel on this thing sounds pretty good. So there's another happy little chord. Here's another one. And here's another one. And all of these chords I can fit this pentatonic shape over. And come back to any one of them. A couple Saturdays back, I showed the pentatonic shape that I'm doing there, and I showed you how to play it all over the fretboard. And if you have been following and you kind of picked up on that, then now we're going to take it and make it more musical. So if you've got a pedal like a looper pedal, or if you can record a backing track and just use any of those kinds of chords, and I'll map these chords out for you in a free PDF. If you sign up at justpickuptheguitarandgo.com and you get my 7-day course, you get the free PDF as well. And you could look at these chords. You can also just use regular chords, right? You can use an F major, you can use a G minor, an A minor, a C major, and a D minor, right? All that would work. But if you want to go ahead and play fancy, right, you can use these really cool, I think they're called 7 chords. It's a major 7 here. This is an F major 7. I don't usually play like this. I play metal. I play a lot of stuff like that. Don't have distortion on it, doesn't sound right, but I play a lot of stuff like that. So these chords are kind of cool. That's not right. This is it. There's your F major 7, your C major 7, your A major 7. Actually, some of these are minor. This is F major. The C is, let me go in order here. So the order that I did them in was I did the G, that's your G minor 7. And then when we get to the A, we got an A major, no, an A minor 7, A minor 7. And then when we get to the next one, which is your C, it's going to be a C major 7. And then when we get to the next one, which is your D, it's going to be a D minor 7. And then the last one is the F, which is an F major 7. So that's all cool, right? You got all kinds of cool stuff in there that you can play with and experiment with. And then you could take that pentatonic shape and you can run it up and down, back and forth. All over any one of these chords. Like literally, you could just put on a looper, play one chord, and just play it over that chord. Then put on the looper and put on the other chord and play that over that chord, right? Play the same lick, the same notes over that chord. And these notes all fit in there. It's going to be the same basic root notes of the chords. It's just a G and an A. Then on the 5th string, it's going to be a C, D. Then on the 4th string, an F, and then back to G, okay? Same thing when you play the next octave, which I mapped all this out for you in another PDF, and then the last big lesson that I did last Saturday, so, or maybe the Saturday before this one. So you'd have to go back and look at that if you want to see it tabbed out, but basically that's all it is. Octaves, 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 and it just goes all the way up the fretboard, which is so cool, because then you could take that, play it over any one of these chords, and make something really cool out of it, which I think is really neat. That's what I love to do. I love to play with stuff like that. So you can have a song. Here I'm playing the root chord, right, the F, the D, the A, back to the F. So it's going to come back to that F, but if you started off with a different chord, right, and you made that your tonal center, then it's going to come back to that, which I think is really cool because you don't really got to change the way you play. You don't really got to change the way you solo. You just go ahead and change the chords underneath. And what that does is it changes the feeling of the song, which we call modes. That's what it does. Or we can think of them as moods. It's going to change the mood of the song or the feeling of the song or the modes of the song. So some will sound happy, some will sound sad, things like that. So if you ever wanted to play with modes, if you're not really sure of what modes are and you ever wanted to play with modes, then check that lesson out. I'll link it for you in the description. But also get signed up over at justpickuptheguitarandgo.com where you can get those tabs, because I'm sure I'll put a couple paragraphs in there about modes and what modes are and things like that. And as I'm saying this, I'm trying to give myself a mental brain, you know, hey, make sure you talk about the modes in the PDF. If I don't, I don't, but I'm going to try to. And I definitely have other courses out there on modes. I talk about modes on my Patreon courses sometimes. And if you check on my YouTube channel, I'm sure I've got other lessons where I talk about modes. I think I got a whole playlist on modes, so be sure to check that out also. But get that free course, just pickuptheguitarandgo.com. You get the 7-day free course, help you unlock the fretboard, help you play with confidence and ease. But you'll also be able to get into the membership section where you'll get the PDFs. And on my email list, when I put out new stuff, I'll send it to you, and you'll be able to check that out as well. So thanks for checking this one out, and I'll see you in the next one.